Welcome back to episode 8 of Valley Sports Talk. On today's episode, we're going to be talking only about NBA. To start off, we're going to be talking about our top 5 players of the 2010s. We're going to talk about our top 5 NBA All-Star Reserve snubs. We are also then going to go in depth on who we would pick in a 7-game series, Team LeBron or Team Durant, since the All-Star teams were drafted last night. We're going to talk very quickly about our All-Star MVP prediction. We are going to talk about our top 3 regular season MVP list, and then we have a bonus segment at the end that we will announce later.
Max is super excited about
As always, my name is Noah, and I am joined today by...
Brandon?
Oh shit, me. Ethan, this is my first time on the podcast. I played football with all these guys, and I'm going to do a hell of a lot better than Brady.
And Max, who's going to try to keep up with Noah and Brandon.
And after speaking of that, we're going to jump right into our top 5 players from the 2010s. We'll start from right to left. So, Braden, you
Number
go ahead.
5.
Number 5?
Yeah.
Chris
Do you want
Paul.
to go 5 across?
Yeah.
Okay.
Across? Okay. Chris Paul.
Okay, cool pick.
You're just going to say Chris
We
Paul?
did this last time, too.
Brandon, you have this top 5.
Top 5? Well, I didn't.
No, we're doing 5.
Oh,
Yeah, we're doing.
Okay, so
Okay.
What do you know about Chris Paul?
Yeah, I didn't do my research on
Okay, so
You should know a little bit about Chris Paul, though.
we're going.
You know that he's a great ball handler. He's a great leader. He's not the point getter that you would want, but he's a leader. He's a ball handler.
He's got
He's
cool
a good
shoes.
assist
He gets
guy.
an insane amount of assists. Yeah,
He's got
and
cool
he's
shoes.
You don't got to
always-
give specific stats, but you know, like for the rest of you guys, you know a little bit.
Oh, yeah, well, for the rest of the guys, I know.
Okay,
Just not my number 1.
Pardon?
My 5 is James Harden. In the 2010s, since becoming a starter, he averaged 30 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. He's been to 7 All-NBA teams. He was the 6th man of the year.
Yourself smack.
In the 2010s, he had 14 40-point triple-doubles, which can't go without being said. And also throughout the 2010s, he had around 6,500 free throws. And the reason I'm saying that is because the guy in second was basically 1,000 free throw attempts behind him, which is insane.
Who was it, you know?
No, I have no idea.
I
who
like
it
how
was.
Brandon says you don't have to do stats to Braden, and Brandon
But there's,
whips
like,
You don't
stats out
have
of his
to
ass.
do stats. You
Yes.
don't have to do
50
stats.
stats.
You don't have to do stats, but you could.
Page and a half
I
of
like to do
stats.
stats. The only thing that James Harden hasn't got in the 2010s and in his career, for that matter, is that MVP and that
MVP.
He's
no
been an MVP.
the finals. I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like, he hasn't
yeah.
made it to the finals yet.
Yes,
And
he
he's
has.
looking-
What?
What?
You made it with the
Who are you
Thunder.
talking about?
Harden.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
James
wasn't a
Harden.
main. He wasn't
You
a
still
main.
made you say your
Okay.
points. Your points void there, though.
Well,
Okay, anyway.
my point of James, I've been talking about James Harden as a starter this whole time, and as James Harden being the main guy, he hasn't been that dominant finals appearance that he's been trying
I
for.
kind of
So.
forgot
Yeah,
that James
I
Harden
agree.
existed.
Yeah, my 5th guy is also James Harden. Brandon talked for about 3 minutes about his 5th player. So
I got the same for all them people.
So,
I got
yeah.
stats for all them.
So I'm not really going to go into much detail, but yeah, he's an MVP. He's led the league in points multiple times in the 2010s. Multiple-time All-Star game starter. Yeah, he's been amazing this decade. Still putting up these points, and he's still going to be putting up these numbers in this decade too. So he's my 5th player.
My 5th player is Kevin Durant.
Okay.
I chose Kevin Durant for my 5th player because it's Kevin Durant.
Do you think you think Kawhi's better than Kevin Durant?
Yes.
In the 2010s?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we'll get there, I guess.
All right.
Go
So
ahead.
I have James Harden.
Hey, look at us.
Look
at that.
We're pretty even.
Yeah. So
Doesn't happen often.
I have James Harden in my top 5 just because the other 4 people ahead of him all had probably similar type of numbers as he did, but what they had over him was the championships. So for that reason, I put Harden at 5. But he definitely has the opportunity to climb that list in the next couple of years. I see him possibly winning a chip maybe this year and next with KD and Kyrie. So we'll see. So Braden, back to you. What's your number?
No,
4?
No,
no.
it's
Oh,
Snake.
we're going this
Snake.
way.
We're
Okay,
doing
so
the
at
last
number
one.
4, I have Kawhi Leonard, the Claw. So I have him there just because his numbers are, across the board, just as good. Well, not as great as Harden's, but out of all the players from the 2010s, I'd say he's definitely in the top 5 conversation for sure for everyone, just because I think he's 2 rings, right?
Yeah,
Two.
He has 2 rings. He's won one against LeBron. He's got a Finals MVP against LeBron, and that was specifically defending LeBron. So yeah, I have him in my top 5 just because he's all around an incredible player. So.
I've got Kawhi Leonard at number 4 as well. It's Kawhi. Not much more else to be said.
My number 4 player is Russell Westbrook.
Hate him.
Yeah, Ethan doesn't like him.
Hate him.
Whenever you win MVP, being the first player to ever average a triple-double over a career, that cannot be given him praise enough. Like,
Can be if you're a bitch.
the only he's the only person to have averaged triple-double to be an MVP, and then he still has done that the past 2 seasons, and everybody still likes to hate on him. Yeah, he can't shoot worth crap, but you know he plays good defense. You could say he's a leader. He's a pretty good leader. He led that the year he won the MVP. He led the Thunder to a pretty respectable record. He's been kind of overshadowed over this year with some guys that are ahead of him, or even some guys that I might have left off my list. But I can't not keep him off my list, so I have Westbrook at 4.
I'm gonna agree with Max and Ethan. I got Kawhi at number 4. I mean, a lot of people can look at some of his numbers in San Antonio and kind of question these picks, but I mean, he was surrounded by greatness in San Antonio. I mean, he won 2 Defensive Player of the Years there. He won a championship there. He was the Finals MVP there. When he came over to Toronto, he averaged 27, 7, and 3. Won another Finals MVP, 3 All-NBA teams. That was a good decade for Kawhi.
And he's a defensive player of the year before as well, right?
As I said it twice.
Yeah.
He won it
Multiple
twice with San
times.
Antonio.
Oh, well, that's pretty impressive. So,
Yeah.
definitely.
And he has a cool
I don't
picture.
think any of the guys in my top 5 have won Defensive Player of the Year aside from him. So gives him
Mine
some sort
haven't
of.
either. I think we remember the same one.
I think we do. It just depends if the order.
We probably
was-
looked at the same sort of research. I recall.
Well, honestly, I think it's pretty.
I didn't
straightforward.
research.
I don't think
pop
it's.
my noggin.
If you're not putting these guys in your top 5, then what are you trying to return?
Yeah, because I feel like our top 3 are going to be pretty similar.
I think all of ours are gonna be pretty similar, except for the guy beside me on the left.
No, it's this guy.
Okay, then both of them.
Go ahead.
Braden's number 1.
And my number 4, I have Kevin Durant.
Giannis.
Number 4, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so despite all the injuries that he has suffered over the years, he's a phenomenal basketball player. Averages about
phenomenal injury reserve player.
yeah,
for you.
there you go, phenomenal injury reserve.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I've had great job doing with Harden.
That's the one good trade you've made.
Yeah, that sucks, but oh well. Anyway, averages about 29 points. Has a phenomenal field goal percentage.
What's the field goal percentage?
Field goal percentage was 9. Let's see.
9.
That's free.
No, that's free throw. Sorry.
Free throw.
Field goal percentage was .476.
That just means
Mine's better.
you basically just take out the last number and it's 47%.
Yeah, 47%.
That's really
Free
You
good.
throw-
round down.
How many points does he have?
Average.
Like he's averaging.
So back in
career.
2010, 30 averages 30 points.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that's pretty
And
good.
about a 2.8 average assists too.
2.8. Okay.
2.8 average assist.
Was that just in
No.
the 2010 year?
That was just
No,
in the
no,
2010
He
year.
averages more than. Anyways, it's cool.
You're
So
gonna be well.
you're-
No, Bray's at
Bray's
number
at
3.
Yeah,
Number 3.
and I have Dwayne Wade at
okay.
Dwayne Wayne at
Dwayne
number
Dwayne
3.
Wade.
Dwayne Wade.
You said it right the first time.
Yeah, right the first
Dwayne Wade,
Dwayne
number
Wade.
3. Another great basketball player. He
So he played for the Miami Heat.
yeah, I know he played for the Heat.
Couple
Cavaliers.
He
championships.
played
Double
with LeBron. He
championships
got a
with the
couple
Heat.
championships, yeah, and he put up similar numbers.
I think he was a better player in the 2000s decade than he was in
Oh, yeah.
2010s,
If
though.
he, yeah,
He started to
I
trail
was
off,
I was
but,
looking
yeah.
at I was debating putting him up there, and I looked at his stats and his 2010s were still.
Great.
He still had some great years. He's probably like number
He
7.
trailed off.
He might be like
Oh
number
no,
7.
yeah, he
8.
definitely trailed off by
But,
the time he hit retirement.
Yeah, I agree.
His late 2000s were some great years.
That's when he went
Mhm.
MVP.
My number 3 is Stephen Curry. In the 2010s,
I think
he
at the same time.
averaged 29 and 7. Some could say he single-handedly changed the way the game's played, maybe alongside with James Harden and people like Iverson and stuff. With all the threes he took, changed. That's all you see nowadays. 3-time championship, 3-time champion. 2-time MVP. He is the only person in league history to unanimously win the MVP. The only thing I guess you could say that Steph Curry's missing is the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Does he not have a Finals MVP?
No.
that's the one.
Iguodala, KD.
Yeah.
Iguodala, my ass.
My third player is also Brandon. Yeah, like Brandon said, he'd revolutionize the game. Could be the.
What's so funny over there, boys?
Doesn't matter.
Who's
The
that?
Indian Steph Curry.
Is that Braden?
Yeah, he revolutionized the game. He's probably the best shooter of all time. You could argue like people like Ray Allen, or even Klay Thompson, but one-time MVP.
Two-time.
Two-time MVP.
Yeah.
2-time MVP.
Oh, okay. 3 championships. Had the best record. Led the Warriors to the best record ever. The year that LeBron they came back 3-1, which is kind of unfortunate for him.
No, that's
But yeah,
awesome.
like Brandon said, the one thing that's keeping him back from his illustrious, already Hall of Fame career is that Finals MVP, and who knows if he'll get it.
All right.
I as well have Stephen Curry. Personally, he is my spirit animal, and I'm not very good at basketball, but I model my game after his.
Yep. That's
If
fair. That's
if
fair
it's not a
judgment.
3-point,
This
doesn't
guy
count.
can make any.
He makes
half-court
stupid
shot.
half-court
Yeah,
shots.
and he doesn't even play basketball.
put me anywhere. It's going in.
He's not even good.
No,
He's
I'm
just
not
gonna
good.
make shots.
I beat you though.
Yeah.
Is
whatever.
yours Steph Curry as well, man?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Um, Yeah, Curry's just undeniable.
Undeniably the number 3 pick. So I at number 3 have Kevin Durant.
Wow.
I would have him at my number 2 spot, but the fact is the guy that is just ahead of him. And
Stephen Curry?
Yes, Stephen Curry. Let's
You're going
just,
back to back. So you
I
might
guess
as
might as well say. So yeah, my 3 is KD and my 2 is Curry, and I understand that people could definitely question that. I'm not saying that necessarily Kevin Durant. It's tough because based off the 2010s, if we're looking at the past years, I would take Curry, but just this year alone,
I
I
would
would take.
disagree.
Pardon?
I would
I know you
Yeah.
disagree, but hear me out. What I'm saying is this year I would take Kevin Durant. Maybe even the past 3 years I'd take Kevin Durant.
But we're talking about the
over
2010s.
time, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So over time, I would still take Curry just because when Curry, back before he had won his first championship, he actually played against Kevin Durant whenever he was on OKC and Kevin Durant had Russell Westbrook.
You're
And-
telling me that OKC and Golden State played each other once or twice?
Yeah.
Wow. No way.
So
No
whenever
way.
they play in the finals and whenever is those two against each other, Curry actually played better than Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant
That's
choked.
one game.
And then after that, because Kevin Durant choked and wasn't able to get to the finals,
He joined them.
He joined them. He joined that 73-19.
That's why Max is
to
not
the-
like KD. His fantasy name is KD is still Snake.
Yeah. So
Katie
I mean,
the Snake.
don't get me wrong. I think Kevin Durant might be today the better player than Stephen Curry,
No.
but just because he basically got bitched by Curry and then joined his team afterwards, knowing how good that team was, and that was the only way that he could beat LeBron. Yeah, for that reason, I can't put him above Curry because he joined Curry. Curry didn't join him.
Okay, we'll talk about Curry now.
For
Just
me,
did.
yeah. So
Oh,
Curry.
I guess you just kind
Yeah,
of
you just kind of did.
Yeah, so the reason why I'd had Curry up there is because 73-9, 2-time MVP. The one MVP that he won was arguably one of the best seasons of all time in the NBA. I think he was the first unanimous MVP ever, and he's currently still ripping up and playing well. So that's why I have Curry number 2.
My number 2 is LeBron James.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
just LeBron.
so why is LeBron?
Why
at
is
number
why
2
is
and not
Kevin
1?
Durant
What-
better than LeBron?
No, he's not saying Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant,
Kevin Durant
has
was
to be
his
the number
fifth.
one.
Kevin Durant was
my
his
fifth.
fifth.
What the fuck? Who's number one?
He's got it kind of
Secret.
messed up. It's a messy.
Don't
Don't
look.
say anything.
Don't look.
I'm
Don't
not gonna look, but I'm gonna hate on it.
You won't hate on it.
Yes, I
You
will.
will,
hate
you
on
will.
it.
Anyways,
No.
Because it's not Steph, it's not Kevin
No,
Durant, it's not LeBron.
you will understand.
No, I won't.
You will.
Okay.
Is it Kobe?
You don't know.
It's not Kobe.
Well, okay.
Fucking Giannis.
All right. It better not be Giannis.
No. LeBron James is number 2 for my pick, strictly out of respect for number 1.
All right.
That's done.
My second player is Kevin Durant. Probably the best scorer of all time. You could have some argument there. Yeah, sure, he did have to join the Warriors to win a championship, but then the
KD
fact
can't do it
that
himself.
but this is my argument. He won the Finals MVP, which means he was the best player on that team.
He was the best player on that team.
Yeah.
For sure, I agree with that, but
So
I still don't think that when he played against Curry played better than him. So that's why I can't give him the leg up over Curry. Like he played
Just
better.
because he won the series?
Pardon?
Just because he won the series doesn't mean he played better.
Well, no. If you look at the stats, like they against.
Did you look at the stats specifically?
I know specifically Durant choked in the last 2 games. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I it's hard to like want to take Durant over Curry just because like Durant bitched out more than anyone else in comparison. Like,
but we're not
Durant's my
talking.
number
We're not
five.
talking
Fuck
about
him.
personality. We're talking about
yeah, I know.
Play
No, but
in
it's just-
I get that.
2010.
I
It
get
just
that.
shows Kevin Durant
Durant's
can't do it
play
himself.
in the 2010s was dominant.
Yeah, no, I agree with
Dominant.
that. But it's easy to be dominant whenever you're giving Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green.
I
But that
agree.
you're saying the same thing about Steph Curry.
No, because
No,
he's
Steph
only
Curry can
given
do it himself.
Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. Whenever he was
Yes.
dominant, he didn't need...
Iguodala.
Like, Curry didn't need Kevin Durant to win. Durant needed Curry to win. That's what I guess.
That's why he's my
We'll
number
see
5.
that this year if he
Pardon?
wins without Curry.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm saying
No,
I think
but then
this
it's also
year
got
Durant
James
is better
Harden
than
and
Curry.
Irving.
So that's why I'm saying it's very... Like, this list, if KD wins
I agree.
this year...
But
next
every
year,
team
he's above
KD
Curry.
joins,
I
he's the best
agree.
player on
I
the
agree
team.
that he made him need Steph Curry, but
Steph Curry.
just because he needed Steph Curry to win a championship doesn't mean that Steph Curry's a better player than him.
No, I get that, but if
I say
I were to
Steph
take
Curry's
one
better.
over the other, what I'm saying I would take Curry over Durant is he can do more with less, and that's what makes him a more valuable player. In my
Like
eyes.
people could
That's
argue.
valuable, not better.
People could
Well, these are
argue.
the top 5 players, not top 5 valuable players.
Okay, well, top 5 most impactful player. It's not. It doesn't say best on it specifically. It's just
Same
top 5
shit.
players.
From 2010.
Yeah, so like the players that I would take on my team first, the top 5 guys. If I had a chance to pick my
Well,
team,
if we're talking about players I'd take on my list, I'd have Kawhi over Westbrook. I'd rather have Kawhi than Westbrook, but I think Westbrook had a better 2010s.
well, I think Curry had a better 2010 than Kevin Durant because he had 3. He had 3 rings and Kevin Durant had 2, and he had 2 MVPs.
And Kevin Durant had to join him to do it.
So it's like
I
overall.
went Max on this one.
I don't care that much because they're one spot interchangeable.
That's why I had KD above Curry, and then I thought about it for a
KD's
bit.
my number 5 because he sucks.
And I knew you guys would probably do the same, so it created conversation. So it's good.
Did you go with your second?
I definitely see why you guys
No.
would take KD
Braden, no
over
changing
Curry.
your list.
I'm not
Like I
changing my
said.
list.
Okay, go ahead, Brian.
So I also have Kevin Durant. Noah basically said everything about him, so I'll just tell you his 2010 stats. To go along with what Noah said, in the 2010s, he put up 28, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He was selected to 9 All-NBA teams in the 2010s. He won the MVP, like Noah said, 2 championships. He was the Finals MVP both times. I agree with what Noah said about Durant.
Sweet.
Braden?
So my number 2 is Kobe Bryant.
Okay, so not chirping Braden, but the reason he has Kobe, from what I'm seeing from his list, is when we said 2010s, he strictly thought of the year.
Yeah, that's exactly what I went
Yeah.
off from my stats.
We're talking like the rest of us.
I knew
We're
that
talking
whenever you
from
were just talking about
2010
the
to
stats.
2019.
Okay.
But that's fine. So basically, base Braden's on the 2010
He's a
season.
Millwright.
Yeah.
Give him some slack.
So
These are Kobe's,
so yes,
They-
these are
they-
Kobe
they
stats
need more
from
explanation.
Kobe stats
2010.
in 2010.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
played 73 games total. Had a field goal percentage of 56.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Did he
Yeah.
win MVP that year?
No.
I don't know.
Wait,
I'll
maybe
search
he
it
did.
up right now.
Yeah.
2010.
Would average about 27 points a game, and
Derrick Rose. That's
Oh,
Derrick
that's
Rose.
D-Rose.
well, that's who won
That's the
MVP that year.
D-Rose year. Yeah.
I think okay, keep going, Braden.
And averages 5 assists. And Kobe, just by the way that he played, was
Oh,
was
yeah.
just I'm just gonna say magical. You
I
know,
mean-
he was one of the players that could get under other guys' skins.
Yeah.
He knew how to handle the ball well. You know, like his shot from field goal, even though it might be low, he'd still make the shot.
Shot from field goal, he shot 56. You just
Yeah.
told us that.
No,
That's
he's
insane.
45, but
Is it 45?
Just in the
Just in the 2010s.
yeah, no, but
What is
2010
field goal
specifically,
percentage?
he was
Your
45.
shot, Tommy, shot.
okay, but what about maybe
Oh,
Bray was
field
looking
goal
at
percentage
true
is
like
insane.
2.
Yeah,
Just
he
two
was-
shots?
He was, I don't know what he was
Two-pointers?
looking at,
Yeah,
but
no, my
Anyways, regardless, I
Very-
mean, you can see where Braden's coming from when you say Kobe if you're just looking at the 2010
Yeah.
season.
Oh yeah, he was still like no, but the thing is why I agree with Braden's point. You could argue is
Nobody's
from 2010 to 2014, he went He had 25 points, 27 points, 27 points, and then he had an injury year, so he only had 15.
But
he
that's
came
not
back.
better than any of the stats. Like, that's not better than Harden's, Kawhi's,
No, I'm not
Murray,
disagreeing
Durant's,
with that.
or
I'm just
James's stats.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying his 2010 year specifically wasn't even like
His
his
best year.
best in like 2011 was better and 2012 was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
No, we
Go
get
on.
it. Yeah, we get it for sure.
So
Go on
do you
with
want to
your
talk
one.
about your number one?
Yep.
And again, this is just from the 2010
And I have
season.
LeBron James at number 1.
And what did he do in 2010?
In 2010, he played a total of 79 games, had a 50% field goal,
yep. That makes sense.
what an average 8.6 assists, and 30 points.
Oh.
And LeBron is just chasing records. Like, how many rings does LeBron have? 4?
Yeah.
4, and what's Jordan have? 6?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, and he's chasing all of Jordan's records.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Beaten a lot of them.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, beating a lot of them. You know, like, he is the king.
Braden, who is your GOAT?
Who is my GOAT? Well, between Jordan and
LeBron.
That's
and
like-
LeBron,
that's
I'd still go with
Or
Jordan.
Gordon Hayward.
Or Gordon Hayward.
LaMelo Ball.
If
No
LeBron
ball.
wins, if LeBron wins another ring, he's got a serious case.
He
Yeah.
does.
I think
Like-
he still has a serious case.
Well, I know,
now,
but if he wins another one, I think it's
yeah,
got to be him.
Oh, it
Yeah.
will. If he wins
I-
another
I
one, it will be
personally-
him.
I my goat is LeBron James personally.
And how old is LeBron?
36.
They're 36 years old.
Oh my!
I
oh, then
definitely-
he's still got
It's a
many more years to play.
one A,
at
one
least
B.
four,
thing.
probably.
What?
Four,
Yeah.
three,
Three
4
at
years. Yeah, 3
Right,
Yeah,
I
years.
think
so-
they're on the same level.
It's just
I
can
think
he
one's
keep
better.
it
He
going?
made himself a free agent the year his son comes into the league.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whoever drafts him, he's going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Draft my son, you'll get me too.
We've only gone through.
Yes,
one
you
segment.
go ahead. You go ahead with your one. I think
Okay,
you
so
and Max all
we
the
gotta
same
get
We're
one.
probably all the same person except for Ethan because he's an idiot. Ethan, do you want to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
You want to go first? Yeah, go first.
Well, my first one is Kobe Bryant. Just straight out of the facts, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. No, I can't disagree with
I
that. I
guess.
respect that.
Rest in
I
peace.
mean,
Rest in peace.
obviously he's not the
Yes and
number
no.
one best player from
But
the
his
2010s.
stats are worse than all 5 of the guys we have.
Yeah, but I'm not
Yeah.
looking at stats.
But that's what we're talking about.
Oh,
Did
are
Kobe
you
win a ring
basing
in
it on
2010?
no.
Yes.
So
I
you're
don't
not
think
basing
so.
on
I don't
stats.
think
You're
he
basing on performance.
From 2010 to
Yeah, he did
2012.
2011. They won
2011.
2011. They win in 2011. One.
He had
one-
5
No, I
rings.
think the Mavericks won that year actually.
I don't think he won a ring in the 2010s.
Yes, he did.
No,
100% did.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
you had the
Paul-
Spurs.
no, he won
you had
with
the
Gasol.
Falcons.
They won it in 2001.
No, he won with Paul Gasol.
It's gonna be the Mavericks.
Paul Gasol in 2012.
Yeah, Mavericks.
I don't think he won.
That's the Heat.
He didn't win in the 2010s because 2013. Don't
I
you
think
got
he won
this
2010. Yeah,
Yeah.
2010.
in
See,
2010?
there's my case.
So you won 1 championship and you're putting him over all these guys. Anyways,
Harden
okay,
We'll just let Brandon.
sucks.
so
No, it's just
I mean, I'll throw out all the stats. I won't even talk about LeBron. I'll just throw out the stats and I'll let you two talk about LeBron so that I don't have to say everything.
There's not that much
Sure.
to say. Everyone knows.
I mean, I think LeBron is without question the best player in the 2010s. His stats through the 2010s was 27 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, steal and a half, block. He made an All-NBA team every year in the 2010s. He won 3 MVPs, 3 championships. He was the Finals MVP every single time. And I mean, I'll let you guys with the stats talk.
Yeah, Max is a LeBron fan, so I'll let him mainly talk. But yeah, he's been the most dominant player for probably the past 15 years, I'd say, in the league. Top 2 all time.
Yeah.
3-time MVP,
Yeah.
4-time MVP,
What?
4 rings, 4
I said.
Finals
I
MVPs.
think there's only 3
No, he's won 4.
in the 2010s.
I know
I think it's
he
3
won
in the
one
2010s.
3 in the 2010s, but he won
Yeah.
one in 2009.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyways,
The only thing I'm going to add about LeBron is an underlying stat that people aren't talking about. We all say he's got a chance to be the GOAT, or he is already the GOAT. Is he the best general manager of all time?
Yeah.
He might be up
and
there.
he's the best. And he's the best complainer too.
That's true.
He could be the best.
What?
It's in their
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, but yeah. Other than
mess with
the
LeBron
fact that he
James?
complains all the time, he's the best player for the 2010s. But I'll let Max talk a bit more of him because
Yeah.
Max knows a lot about him.
Number 1 in mouth.
I don't have much to
He
say.
was born in
actually.
Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio,
Same
not Akron.
shit.
Acorn, Ohio.
He had a single mother.
The one thing I guess that we didn't mention maybe was the fact that he was the only he was part of the team and he was the leading part of the team that that came back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals against the 73-9 team Warriors, which is arguably the best team of all time. So.
And no offense to his teams, but they're relatively trash.
Oh,
other than, other than Kyrie and K Love.
Love had the one good year
Yeah.
with LeBron.
Everywhere
but other than
LeBron goes, there's an opportunity to win a championship. So it's hard not to want to put in one because everyone knows here that everyone else on that list does not provide the opportunity that LeBron does for your team.
Well, it shows how LeBron. The stats show how good he is because the first year he went to LA, they were fighting for a playoff spot.
No.
Yeah, they were.
not.
No,
And then he
they-
got
He
hurt.
got hurt.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were fighting for a playoff
They
spot.
were like an 11 seed when he.
Okay, when
And
he
then he
first
got hurt
got
and
there,
they
when
were
he
trash.
first got there, they were they were the 4 seed, and like when he brought them to the 4 seed, and then whenever he got injured,
and
they
that
went
just showed
down.
they
Yeah.
were like a bottom
Yeah.
seed. That
Well, you
just
look at-
shows that
look
shows
at-
how good LeBron.
Look at the Cavs, right? Like whenever the
They're
Cavs
trash.
left,
They were like the worst team.
they
in
were the
yeah.
worst team in the league. The Heat, whenever they left the Heat, they were terrible. Whenever he left the Cavs the first time around,
They
were
were
terrible.
And that's how they got Irving.
he brought a team that had
Every
like
time.
George Hill, Jordan Clarkson, and
Larry Nance.
Jeff Green and
Tristan
Larry Nance
Thompson.
Jr. and
Van
Isaiah
Gogh.
Thomas. Like
Isaiah Thomas is gone by then.
Like,
Hey!
old D Wade. And it's just he's insane. But I think we should get going because we're gonna be here
Yeah.
forever.
We're gonna move on to our top 5 NBA All-Star reserve snubs. I don't think we're gonna argue much about these because there's so many guys that could have been snubbed, or that did get
Someone
snubbed.
start at 5.
Yeah, Braden, you go ahead and start at 5. We'll
Okay.
just fire through these.
Who's
Okay,
Top
at number
five.
5, I got Jimmy Butler.
Okay. Good point. Put him up there.
Number
Wait, he is an
Oh,
all-star.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Butler's
Butler's
not.
No,
Is
he's
he
on-
reserve?
No,
He's
he's
not?
not.
No.
He didn't have a single All-Star.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So yeah.
Um, DeMar's my number 5.
We're gonna go quick.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
go quick.
just because the Spurs are a lot better than people thought they were going to be.
Middleton's my number 5. I get overshadowed by Giannis.
How long have we been doing the podcast?
Still
I don't have to speed up.
a very good option, putting up decent stats. Very good defender. He's my number 5.
Van Vliet's my number 5.
Fred?
Yep.
Okay.
Just
Don't
because Van
We don't
Vliet.
need to go
Don't
quick.
wanna
We've
get
only been
mixed
doing
up
the
with the
podcast
other
for like
band.
20.
Van Vliet?
Yeah.
Well,
Daphne.
these ones aren't as
Daphne,
important as
yeah.
like this stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk a bit about
Fred
Okay,
and
who's-
Daphne.
Actually, we're for 5. Actually.
Okay, so my number 5 is the Tobias Harris.
Wow, he's putting some respect on him. For
Yeah, he's snubbed because he actually has been playing very well. I will admit, him, Brandon Ingram, and Embiid have brought the 76ers to like almost a number 1 seed. I think right now. I think the number
You
1
just said
seed.
Brandon Ingram, said Ben Simmons. Just
Oh,
so you know.
I meant to say Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
That's because you know Brandon Ingram's a good basketball player.
No, that's because my number 4 pick is Brandon Ingram. So, yeah,
Well, you just followed through right into your...
I did follow through. So now
I
you
just
can-
got a notification saying the Nets are the lead
Yeah, so did I.
lead target for Blake Griffin.
Really?
Yeah, got
They
bought out
just bought
today.
him out.
That's interesting.
I know.
You go ahead.
My number 4 is DeMar DeRozan.
Did Max say his number 4?
My number
Yeah, it's
4 was
Brandon
Brandon Ingram after
Oh,
Tobias
oh,
Harris.
okay. I see what you said.
My
Um,
number 4 is
yeah.
DeMar DeRozan.
My number 4 is
DeMar DeRozan.
My number 4 is Fred VanVleet. Probably taken over as I don't want to say best player because I still probably consider Lowry a bit better, but like the main guy on that Raptors team. Very good defensive. Will make his shots, and he is a very clutch player. He probably deserved to get a little more recognition for the All-Star game than he did, so that's why he comes in as my number 4.
My number 4 is Chris Middleton, averaging 21, 6, and 6. Kind of gets shadowed a little bit behind Giannis. So
All right, and my number 4 is Devin Booker.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, I didn't include him or Sabonis because they technically did get in. Sure, they were snubbed, but that's just
They
that was
ten- oh,
They
that-
got
that-
in-
that-
they
my
made it
number
in
3
because
is
they
Sabonis.
made it in. They made it in.
they made it in.
because of
You're right
injuries.
though. You can put them in.
You can
'cause
put
they
them in,
didn't
but
make
that's
it.
just that's
Yeah.
just, that's just
I-
why
I
they're not on
didn't
mine.
put-
I was
I
going to
didn't
say
put him-
because Sabonis is having a great year with them.
I didn't
He's
put
having a
him-
great year with them.
I didn't put them in, but I was going to mention them that they were my number 1, both of them. Like, how does Devin Booker?
I put
It's not
Booker
getting
out,
in.
but I put
I know.
Sabonis in this. I have Sabonis in this, but I don't have Booker.
Something
forgot
I
that
wanted to
Sabonis-
say quick was
Sabonis was amazing.
Yeah.
Booker didn't get picked to be an all-star, and in the draft
KD took
last
him, like,
night,
KD
KD took him 3rd out of 14, and he wasn't an All-Star.
Who?
KD took him 3rd.
Booker
in the
was
reserve.
picked 3rd out
Really?
of
He
14.
took him really.
How does he get picked 3rd and he's not an All-Star?
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, something's
and
messed
KD,
up.
I mean, LeBron was pissed when he made that.
Yeah,
pick.
he took him. He's like, damn, I wanted him.
That was
He
my
always-
pick.
Like,
That was fun to watch,
he
eh?
always
You
does
guys
stuff.
find that interesting to watch
The
them
Jazz
pick?
were picked last.
Yeah, and
And
then
then
the last
LeBron
two-
was like, that's because nobody picks
Nobody
the
No,
plays.
no,
Nobody
no,
played
no,
video-
no,
nobody played video games with the Jazz.
Come on, they're boring.
Okay, go ahead, Bray.
Okay, and my number 3 is Sabonis.
Sabonis.
Did you
Bonus?
didn't say your 4? You didn't say your 4.
Yeah,
I did.
He said
I said
Devin
Devin
Booker.
Booker.
Oh yeah.
They're good picks. I mean, they should have been.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I know,
Um,
like
My number 3 is Jimmy Butler. Again, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. When he was injured, the Heat were kind of garbage. He's back. The Heat are starting to pick up their play. I don't know how he's not there.
My number 3 is Tobias Harris, probably having a better statistical season than Ben Simmons. Obviously, Ben Simmons is there on the defensive side. Personally,
Defense doesn't look good. in the
personally,
All-Star
I would.
game, Max.
I'll make Max happy.
Should.
I would rather have Ben Simmons on my team, but for the stats that Tobias Harris was putting up, he didn't get the recognition he deserved.
None of us were
I don't
arguing
think
that.
you would have said that. Like
We weren't
I
arguing.
literally said that in the other episode.
We
I
weren't.
would
No,
rather have
the
Ben
point. The
Simmons, but
point we
he's
were
already better,
arguing.
but
The
Tobias
point
had
we
better
were
season.
arguing was like a second
But
score.
I'm not gonna argue the Ben Simmons thing anymore.
No,
Just
we're
go
not.
ahead.
We're not. I'm just saying that when we were arguing, we were talking about Ben Simmons as a second scorer.
Pardon?
We were saying Ben Simmons isn't a second scorer.
Ben Simmons is a
Yeah,
bust.
but
we all said we'd rather have Ben Simmons than Tobias Harris.
no,
Yeah.
Ben
He's a better
Simmons is
player.
bust.
Yeah,
He's just not a better second scorer.
yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
that's what we were saying.
Go ahead
Yeah.
with your 3rd.
My 3rd is Devin Booker.
D-Book should have been
Alright.
number 1.
I agree. So my number 3rd pick was Trae Young. I thought he was a pretty big snub. At the same time, I'm not a huge fan of his game, honestly. I find he has to do a lot in order to get
Never
his
miss.
game going. He's terrible on defense, like really, really bad.
Right.
And the Atlanta Hawks aren't doing that well. So
He
I would
sucks.
put him up higher, but for
He's-
that reason, he's not an all-star. So
Who's your number 2?
I'm going to number 2 already. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing Snake.
All right, Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is an awesome second option for the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think he can necessarily bring a team to a championship, but if you look at his numbers, they're definitely up there with anyone else in the All-Star team. So I would put him at number 2.
My number 2 is Tobias Harris. I think he was a pretty big snub because he's putting up way better points than Ben Simmons.
Who?
Tobias
Tobias Harris.
He is putting up better scoring numbers than
Yep.
Simmons.
Much
Nobody's arguing that.
Simmons
I'm not
sucks.
disagreeing with that.
Simmons sucks.
Okay, my number 2 is
You're not
DeMar
gonna piss me
DeRozan.
off.
The main reason I have him as a high snub is because the Spurs were not supposed to be good this year, and he is the main guy on that team, and they're still in a playoff position right now, and he's one of the main reasons why they are in a playoff position right now. So he should be a snub, or he's not should be a snub.
He should be.
He should be in
He
the
deserves
All-Star
snub
game.
either.
He deserves to be in
He
it.
He's one of
deserves
the
to be
highest
snubbed.
snubs.
My number 2 snub is Brandon Ingram, averaging
Simmons.
24,
I do.
5 and 5. I mean, I can see why Zion
Says
made
he
it in
sucks.
as the Pelicans player over Brandon Ingram. Personally, I think Brandon
Shit.
Ingram probably should have been an All-Star over Zion just this year. He's my number 2 snub.
And then my number 2 snub is also DeMar DeRozan too. Like you said, they wouldn't be in a playoff position without DeRozan. I think DeRozan is a fantastic player.
Surprised they're in one with the.
Exactly. Yeah, and he averages about 5 rebounds a game, 7 assists, and averages 20 points.
And you won't trade him.
And I will not trade him.
Why would you?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So you can get better.
Who's your number 1?
My number 1 is Chris Middleton.
Right, good point.
Yep.
90 on my premium.
Even though he's balls alongside Giannis, you know,
I know
like you
about
said,
the Bucks.
he won't get them to it won't help them get into a playoff position, but I still think he's just a good basketball player, middle of the road. Averages 6 assists a game.
Chris Middleton.
You
You've heard it here first.
Let's
You've
see.
heard it here first, folks.
6 rebounds.
Oh yeah, I know.
6 assists.
Yeah, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and about 21 points a game.
That's awesome.
Um,
he's not really good efficiency.
My number 1 is Trae Young. I know people might have him a little lower or might not even have him, but the All-Star game is specifically something for the
I
fans.
know.
And I mean, like Max said, Trae Young's not the best defender, but the All-Star game isn't about defense; it's about offense.
Yeah, but
And
if
if
you're
you
good at-
want entertaining All-Star game for the fans, Trae Young should be in there. I think he's averaging the most points out of anyone who's not in the All-Star game.
I'd say an all-star player isn't just offense though. What makes
I'm
an
not
all-star-
either, but
It's gotta be an all-around
that's not
player.
even the
But
All-Star
Chris
game. They kind
Middleton
of just
is middle of
draft.
the
They
row.
draft people on like what the fans will want to see.
Yeah, okay. I
And
agree
Trae
with
Young,
that.
if in an All-Star game, nobody plays defense.
But
in an
who
All-Star
are you
game.
taking?
No.
Yeah, I agree.
Who
with
am I
that.
taking out? I don't know.
Because that's
There's so many good players.
Because like all those other guys offer that
You
offense.
can't make the All-Star game if you're a middle of the row player.
Trey-
so
Trae
here's the
Young-
thing. Would
Trae
you
Young,
take-
Trae Young will be a way more
The one
entertaining player probably in the All-Star game than Chris Paul.
Okay, yeah.
Chris Paul might have some flashy passes.
But I
in
would
the
still
All-Star
take
game,
Chris
but-
Paul over Trae Young in the All Star. Like I would still take him. Like I'd still
I
consider him
think
an All Star
he's-
before the other.
Me too. I do too.
Yeah.
But in a
I don't
fan
know.
fan perspective, I mean,
Yeah.
like Trae Young
Would you
averaged
take-
27 points.
Would you take Trae Young over Ben Simmons for an All Star? Because I understand that.
Maybe for a more flashy point,
That's what
then
I
maybe,
get.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
the
I
fans
I
would
would.
rather see Trae Young in an All-Star
I
game
agree
than
with
Ben
that.
Simmons.
I agree with
Just
that.
because he'll probably throw up some crazy half court
Fuck,
threes.
you didn't get me.
Brandon Ingram, I mean, I don't see what Ben Simmons is gonna do. That he might get a couple dunks. You never know, but like, I mean, maybe Ben Simmons will try a 3 in the All-Star game. You never know. I would like to see it.
Yeah, my number one is also Trae Young. Like Brandon said, he's a flashy player. He's gonna shoot threes.
This
Just
is
gonna,
really good.
where's everybody just leaving?
You be able to hear me?
Probably. Everybody just leaving mid segment. Yeah, my number one is Trae Young. And Brandon's gone. He's a flashy player, like Brandon said. Sure, who you gonna take out? I don't know. There's probably all those guys deserve to be all stars in there. I don't know who you're gonna take out, but yeah, my number one is Trae Young.
Okay, fair enough.
My number one snub is Colin Sexton. He is my go-to man on my fantasy team, and he puts up huge points. So I think he should have gotten because he's flashy. He's got cool hair.
Mm-hmm. Colin Sexton.
So, we take him for his hair?
Yeah.
All right, my number one pick.
He's not middle of the row.
DeMonte Sabonis, but I didn't take Sabonis. I didn't realize that he was actually selected into the draft or into the All-Star game later on. But
Just injury replacement.
yeah, he's an injury replacement. But I think he's a big snub. I think his numbers would definitely be better than. I would honestly take him as an All-Star over Ben Simmons. I actually
Ben
would.
Simmons shit.
So yeah, I would. Yeah.
You invited him.
And
You're regretting
he's fucked me over in trades today.
You fuck yourself over in trades.
I did. I can't
Alright.
deny that. But,
Yeah,
let's move on to
our next segment is last night obviously the All-Star game draft went down. Team LeBron versus Team Durant, even though Durant's not playing. So our next segment is going to be who you have in a 7-game series, Team Durant or Team LeBron. Braden, we'll start with you as always.
See that on video.
I'm taking Team LeBron if I had to choose for somebody in a 7-game series.
I choose Team Chris Paul.
Do you want me? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
if
go
want
ahead.
to
If you
specify
want,
that.
if you have,
Okay.
if you have some
If you
stuff
want
there.
to.
Okay, yeah, like you have LeBron who is honestly going to be playing, unlike Kevin Durant. You know, you got
You don't even know what I got.
LeBron is just,
Hey,
you know, like I said, he's the king of basketball right now. And you have Giannis, who's just a tower of a man, just a tower of a guy. That's a big boy. And you know, Giannis, you got who averages 12 rebounds a game, 6 assists, and 29 points in a game. His field goal percentage is 56, and his free throw percentage is 66. So you know that's, and then you have Curry, who's an excellent 3-point shooter.
So you're taking Team LeBron?
Yeah,
I'm taking Team LeBron. And then you got Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic.
His top name.
Where's
That-
Luka
yeah.
Doncic on there?
Yeah,
Team
yeah.
LeBron.
He's on Team LeBron, and then you have Jokic, right at the, down at the
Jokic?
bottom.
Yeah.
Jokic, yeah.
Just call him the Joker.
I mean,
The
I
Joker.
feel
He's
like
just stale as hell.
I feel like everyone's gonna pick Team LeBron just because of the players he picked. But we got to remember, like I watched the YouTube video, and then I looked at the comments, and everyone was saying how stacked Team LeBron is.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
But
get
I
me
mean,
wrong.
you
it
gotta-
looks stacked.
The thing you got to
It is
remember is every single player in this game is an all-star. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Team Durant won.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
They're all all-stars. Like
None of these
how are
guys
you
are
going to
middle
say
of the row.
that? How are you going to say Team LeBron? Team LeBron has more well-known names. Like Durant went with like Julius Randle, Levine, Booker, Vucevic. He went with like the
Durant
first
has
time,
Levine?
second times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's my boy.
And LeBron went with like the Currys, the Doncic, the
Yeah.
Giannis, the Jokic,
Yeah.
Lillard. But I mean, like they're all all-stars at the end of the day. So
Exactly.
my main. So I have Team LeBron as well. My main argument was that every player on LeBron's team is a top 10 player in the league. In my opinion, Durant only has 2 top 10 players in the league.
Embiid and Kawhi.
Yeah, those are the only 2 I would consider.
Every player. Oh, you're talking. We're talking just starting.
I'm
lineups?
talking just starting lineup.
Oh,
at-
okay.
at
Okay.
this
I was
time.
gonna say, what's the bonus? The top 10 player.
They even LeBron even has 6. I consider Lillard a top 10 player. So you know, whenever it comes down to star power, obviously LeBron has that personally. I can't really say star power because they're all superstars.
Exactly.
But
He has
They're all
more-
great
But I'd
players.
say
They are all great players.
LeBron went with the more known players.
Luke.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, and like you said, they're all stars at the end of the day.
Just like
But it's gonna make for one entertaining all-star.
they
It
always
will.
are. They always are.
You know, it's gonna be between them two.
I wanted
It's just who's gonna play better. That's just what it's gonna come down to.
I wish Durant was playing.
I wish too.
Ethan.
I'm gonna have to go with Team LeBron, just strictly based off who the players are. But my boy Zach LaVine, is it LaVine or Levine? LaVine is on Team Durant, so I'd like to go with them, but can't.
Your MVP prediction is for me. Okay. Okay, so I'm going.
Max, as soon as you're done talking about it, say your All-Star MVP.
Yeah. Okay, so my team for the 7-game series would be Team LeBron. Got LeBron, Giannis, Curry, Luka, Jokic. Obviously the other team is good too, but I don't think we understand how fucking good that team is. Like Jokic at center, Luka on the side, Curry as your point guard, and then you have Giannis as a power forward, and then LeBron as a small. That's just insane. I don't know how you would stop
That's
that.
what
So.
SF stands for.
Yeah, and then I'd say my MVP prediction was Giannis. I think he's, out of all the players here, I think he has the most to prove. Otherwise, I'd say Embiid, but just because I think people have kind of overshadowed him this year, knowing how well he's done. So, yeah, that's my MVP prediction.
My All-Star MVP prediction is Zach LaVine, strictly based off he's grinding.
Strictly based off
He's
Ethan
working
has
with-
him in fantasy.
And he's amazing.
My All-Star game prediction, I kind of went with no, you can't really say odd, but not a interesting one. I have Bradley Beal. You know, he always has something to prove. He's got in there being a pretty bad record, even though the Wizards have started to play pretty well recently. He's leading the league in points, so I don't see him really stopping in this game. Because on the other side, you also don't have that many good defenders to defend him on LeBron's team. I'd say Giannis is probably your best defender, and he's not a perimeter defender. Curry and Luke aren't known for defending, obviously. So yeah, Beal's gonna go off, but.
I think my MVP prediction will just be Joel Embiid. MVP Bede. I don't know. I don't even have a reason for it. I just think.
Well, it's just the person that's going to put on the biggest show. Who do
Yeah,
you think?
exactly. And I think Embiid has that chance because you have Team LeBron that we said has the more notable names, and I feel like everybody's going to be wanting a piece of it. Where I feel like, and with Embiid, you got, you got Irving and Beal, but you have a guy like Jason Tatum, and you got a guy like Kawhi Leonard who also look to pass the ball. I feel like Embiid with some of the dunks he can do. He can also shoot the ball.
Yeah, he will be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a fun
He's a
guy to
great.
watch.
Yeah.
Especially
It's
him
gonna be-
against
it's gonna
Jokic.
be- Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Him against
that
Jokic is going to
matchup.
be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
They won't play
Embiid
defense,
can
so we won't
destroy
see
Jokic.
defense, but
The difference between Embiid and Jokic is that Embiid's way better defensively than Jokic.
yeah.
That's
So Jokic might not pop up, but
Yeah.
they don't play defense in the All-Star games.
That's true.
We'll see.
Go ahead, Braden.
Yeah.
They only play defense
So
in the
this
fourth quarter.
this was actually really hard for me to pick because of all
The options.
the options we have
There's
to
only
go
one
from.
real option.
I'm kind of a seller for this one, but I'm saying LeBron.
Okay.
That's not a bad pick.
I know it's not a bad pick because
It's very possible.
it is possible, but if that was the point, it was just so hard because I had to sit on and really go through everything, and then at the end of the day, I chose LeBron just because of what kind of a player he is.
Great.
Overall.
Okay.
I think next we're gonna move on to our who is our MVP for the season, just our number one MVP for the season.
Sure.
Who's your MVP so far this season, Bray? Number one.
Number one.
Just do number one.
Just number one. I have
Who's your runner-up? Can we know?
Just
Oh,
do two.
Give your top two. Who's second, and then talk about who's first.
Okay, so in second I have
Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid. Average, you
were about to say average. Oh,
He's another middle of the road guy.
No. I was about to say average rebounds, but anyways.
he's way above average.
Oh yeah, no, way above average. Gets about 12 rebounds a game.
Average.
3 assists, 30 points. Field goal percentage is 52, and then free throw percentage is 85, which is really good.
And who's your number one?
Number one, I have Giannis in number one.
And what's your reason behind Giannis?
Giannis, he gets 12 rebounds a game, 6 assists, 29 points. His field goal is 56, and his free throw is 66.
So you're taking him over Embiid? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just because. Well, if you look at who Giannis is, and he plays really well. He does well for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Everybody people always look at him. I mean, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
So can I ask why Giannis is your regular season MVP and LeBron is your All-Star game MVP?
Yeah, the only reason why I picked that is because the Lakers go to the finals. He'll get the championship MVP, and that's why I didn't pick LeBron.
Go ahead, B-Wall.
Because I feel like that's just cheaping
Yeah,
out.
fair enough.
My number 1 and 2 are both centers. I mean, the last time a center won the MVP was Shaquille O'Neal in '99. I think we're gonna have another one. My number 2 is Jokic, putting up insane numbers. He would be number 2 regardless, but I feel like something that is hurting him is his team's record. Normally, the MVP goes to a top 3 team in either conference. With that being said, this is my number 1. It might be a little biased because I have him in fantasy, but he is still ripping up this year's Joel Embiid, All-Star MVP Joel Embiid. He's, again, putting up crazy numbers, like Braden said, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, on the top team in the East. Is his record, what are they, number 2, 3 overall
Probably.
in the league? And Joel Embiid is the guy on that team, so he's my.
Can I ask quickly who is your
He's my
number
MVP.
3? I'm just curious.
James Harden.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Had Jokic in mind.
My runner-up is LeBron, and my
Brown's probably
MVP.
number 4 for me, I would say.
My MVP is Joel Embiid. I won't talk much about LeBron because my number 2. But I'm not a 76ers fan, obviously being a Raptors
I
fan.
hate the 76ers.
I honestly.
I said 76ers Nets at the beginning of the year. And you
I
guys
had
just
this.
shit.
I have the.
You're right.
I had the 76ers overrated for like the past couple of years. I had Joel Embiid as overrated. I always had Jokic as the best center, but I think Joel Embiid has firmly taken the best center spot this year. I think Jokic you could say he's more versatile than Embiid, but I think all around Embiid is the best center.
Defender-wise, too.
Yeah, that's what I meant by all
Yeah,
around.
just by the stats, Jokic is he's a great player.
Did you say Jokinen?
Jokic.
Joker.
Just say
Sorry.
Joker. Just say
Joker.
The Joker.
The
That's
Joker?
That's his nickname, the Joker.
The thing that hurts him is his record, and I hate to put record for
Well, they do
All-Star.
that, that's what they do.
For All-Star, I picked Beal over you guys because I didn't take record into account. You guys did, but in the MVP, they take record into account.
Yeah, Jokic is
Jokic
my,
can't win it
Jokic
right
is
now.
my third.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
My runner-up is Zach LaVine.
I can't believe he's not number 1. I know.
No, I know.
It must be someone else in your pool. I know.
It is.
It is.
Oh, of course.
No, so
That's it.
Zach LaVine is my runner-up because if you look at, he's going nuts this year.
His team's
No.
not. His team's not.
I don't
though.
give a. I don't care about his
They
team.
do though.
Yeah,
They
I
do.
know they care. It's rigged. Okay,
It's right.
it's rigged. Zach LaVine going nuts.
Oh.
Never heard of the
Number
guy before
Who's
the
your
year.
number 1?
Number 1, Steph Curry.
Okay.
What more is there to
I mean,
say?
that's not even.
That's not even
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
That's not bad.
Why Curry?
Curry's in the playoff spot.
It's
All right.
Curry.
So,
Curry
You
is
can't just say it's just Curry.
is
Specify that.
single-handedly taking the Golden State Warriors to the playoffs.
He's not wrong.
No, you're
He's
not
not
wrong.
wrong.
I just
He's
wanted
putting
to
up some
specify.
pretty
I mean,
Yeah,
Wiggins is having a great
Wiggins having a
season.
great season.
I don't
But
care about Wiggins. Curry.
Wiggins isn't having that season without Steph Curry.
No.
so.
I agree.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
so
Norris.
at number 2, Brandon, can you guess who's my number 2 spot?
JoJo, if you're asking me, it's got to be
Ben
Joe.
Simmons.
It better not be Ben Simmons. He's defensive player of the
My
year.
number 2 spot for
JoJo.
He's gonna
Regular
be, it's gonna be
season
LeBron, and
MVP.
it pains him.
is LeBron James.
It pains him to say that.
Why? You
At
want
number
him to
two?
be number one?
I really wish he would be my number one, but no, he's right now slid down to number
So you
two
have to be
because
number
AD's been gone. He's still at a
No, he's got.
high record, but
I don't actually know who he is.
yeah, I have LeBron at number two.
No one
for
cares about LeBron.
reason-
Who's your number one? LeBron sucks when he's by himself. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
We just talked about earlier how he was
Anyways,
good.
LeBron's no. The reason why I have LeBron at number two is because I think he's still putting up crazy numbers. AD's gone, but they still are holding a good record.
He's a bitch.
Whenever AD comes back, we'll see a good,
Day-to-day
good
Davis.
LA Lakers.
Yeah,
and the
day-to-day
reason why
Davis.
I think LeBron comes back and might get in the MVP at the end of the year. But for now, my MVP is Joel Embiid. He's been
So the smart people have a big man winning this year.
yes.
I'm telling you, it's
I
gonna be
can't
great.
I can't not put Joel
He's
Embiid at
honest.
the MVP list right now
That's a big
because
man.
He's got
just-
Joel and Jokic as his other two, though. It's a big.
and yeah, so I'd say Joel Embiid for the fact that like just the other night I watched him play that really made me reconsider my
Yeah,
decision.
no, she was telling me about this.
And
She's like,
yeah, in
Nora
fact,
is
he put up
basically
like
just
40 and 19 the other night. So
trying to
that's
just
pretty cool. So,
Um,
and my third pick, if anyone wanted to know, was also James Harden. So
we had similar. I just had Jokic and still.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into our bonus segment. Now that we're done that, this was Mac's idea to do it, so
I
I'll
like
let
it.
I'll
I
let
like it
him
too.
explain it.
It's
So
cool.
go ahead,
So
Mac.
basically, this is our bonus segment. We just decided to do our top 3 favorite teams of all time. So this could be NBA, NHL, or NFL, and just a sports team that we kind of have a memory with, or we enjoyed, or we thought was a really standout team, and that could be from the past 10 to 15 years. So I guess we'll start at Braden.
Braden only has
say
2,
that.
so you go.
No,
first.
Brady's got 3 now.
Braden's got 3. Okay, he's
Yeah.
got 3.
What's
Okay.
a team that
Go from
It's
3.
number 3.
No,
So,
go
what are
all
your
go all
favorite
yours at the time. Go all your all 3 of your teams.
Go 3, 2, 1 now.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone should do that.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
From team 3 to team 1.
Do 2, 1, 3.
I don't know what year it was, but just say that.
What is it? The one.
That's your favorite team.
I mean,
How
you
can
can
they?
all
Well,
you
my
just
favorite
waiting.
team's the Ottawa Senators.
The
Yeah, so-
2015 Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Carolina
great.
Panthers.
I was gonna put the Carolina Panthers when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was 2015. I'm surprised you didn't
Yeah.
do that.
I'm surprised.
Well, they played Super Bowl.
I'm surprised. You're not a real
Okay.
fucking throw your lane.
Okay, who's your number
Anyway.
2?
You're not a
Number
real
2
Carolina
is the
fan.
1997-1998 Chicago Bulls.
You weren't even alive.
I'm allowed to pick what year, okay?
He's only hey.
You're in
Okay,
Free
reign,
now let me
free
go.
reign, free
Okay,
reign.
during that season,
Name more than
he
3
played
guys on
in
the team.
82 games, played
I can only do it 'cause I watched
3,181 minutes,
Yeah.
Well, maybe
had a field goal
Dennis
percentage of 65,
Wow.
If
and
you would ask me
made
to name 4.
with 881
Five.
three-point
I'm not
shots
listening at all.
that he made, along with, let's see, how many field goal percentage? Okay, field goal attempts were 1,893. His free throw was 84%.
This is Michael Jordan you're talking about?
Yes, Michael Jordan, and along with 585 free throws made,
Okay.
has
Shit,
283
free throws.
rebounds, and total of 2,357 points that season. And then that's the year they won the championship.
Right.
And then he also had Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and
Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen,
That's
Pippen.
Pippen.
Pippen,
Yeah.
and Steve Kerr that played alongside him
So
too.
the only thing I'm going to ask you, Braden, is
Why did you choose
that is a great team. I'm not going to argue.
Why is that your number 3?
But what does that have to do with why is
This is
that
two.
why is that special to you?
What's special to me?
Like why
Yeah.
did you pick that as a
Remember that
special
documentary that was on Netflix?
Yeah.
I like that documentary.
team? Okay, it's fair. Fair. Who's
And
your
then number one, Noah, you're gonna hate me for this, was the Super Bowl 51 Patriots team.
Why did you just said it to piss me off, didn't you?
No, I did not, because
Why do you have? How do you have? How do you
Again,
pick
why
them?
is this special to
Why
you?
did you pick that
If
over
you-
your favorite NFL football team going to the Super Bowl?
You're not a Carolina Panthers
That
fan.
makes no
But
sense.
if he's got a good reason, then it's fine.
What's your
Do you-
reason?
what- yeah,
What's your
why,
reason?
why is
Reason,
this
'cause
special to you?
it was a very entertaining Super Bowl to watch the Patriots come back from a 25-point deficit
Okay, that's
for the first time the Super Bowl went into OT in order for them to win it.
Who did they play?
Who did they play? The Falcons.
I know.
Yeah.
I watched that
Good
Super
pick,
Bowl.
Good pick. Okay, what's
Yeah,
your number one?
we had
pick?
to-
That was
that
his number
was-
one.
That was my number one.
We had to leave your house early for that game.
Okay, so my top 3 are all Toronto based. As we know, since I've been born, Toronto hasn't been good in any real sport until recently, so mine are pretty recent. My number 3 would have to be the 16-17 Leafs. It was
16, 17? Oh,
Leafs, yeah.
I thought you were going way back.
I mean,
Well, it would've-
Back to the prehistoric days.
It would've
I
made-
just said mine are all recent.
No, I'm sorry. I just thought because it would have made sense.
You know what?
'cause that was the last time.
The Leafs probably won the cup in 19.
Yeah, exactly. That's
They
what I
did.
mean.
1916.
That's what I mean. The NHL would have just been
Stanley
boring. They
Cup
probably would have
champions. Who was it? It was probably the Leafs.
Bruins.
1916. Montreal won.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Montreal won.
All
Okay,
right.
so
Anyways.
16-17 Leafs. I'm gonna try and go through this really quick. It was the first year we saw Matthews, Marner, and Nylander. And we also had fan favorites like JVR, Kadri, Bozak, people like that. It was, I don't care if you did, I like him. He reminds me of me. Anyways, except Kadri's good at
My
hockey.
spirit animal.
I mean, they made the
your spirit
playoffs.
animal,
Nobody really expected them to make the playoffs. They were playing a good Capitals team. Took them to 6. All 6 were 1-goal games. 5 of the 6 went to overtime. I mean, the only thing that wasn't good about that series, I don't think my heart has recovered from it. My second favorite is the 2015 Toronto Blue Jays. The 1 year basically of my life, they were really good. They finished 93 and 69. They finished 5th in the whole MLB, top of their division. They played Texas in the first round. They were big favorites to win the series. They fell down 2-0 early, both at home. Everyone counted them out. They came back, won game 3, won game 4, and then you had the historic 53-minute 7th inning in game 5, where the Rangers committed 3 errors in a row, and then you had Bautista's iconic bat flip to come back and win. Obviously, the rest of that playoffs didn't go the way we wanted, but it was a cool experience. My top moment is the 2019 Toronto Raptors. This is the year the Raptors basically went all in, trading away DeMar and Valanciunas
It's too bad we couldn't.
and Pirtle for Leonard, Danny Green, and Marc Gasol, and all 3 of those were most likely 1-year rentals, and they were, but basically.
It's too bad we couldn't.
Gasol was 2, but they were basically 1-year rentals, like in a win now. This is the year we're going for it.
The
Raptors. I know. I'm
there.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
We're in
In the first round they met the Magic. It was the first time the Raptors swept a playoff series in history. Then in the second round they had the 76ers, where they had Kawhi had the shot in Game 7. Third round they played the Bucks. The Raptors found themselves down 2-0 against the Bucks, and then somehow they won 4 straight to go to the finals. Unfortunately, us 4 were on a canoe trip and we missed the finals.
We got waking up to Let's Go Raptors.
At like 5 in the morning.
You guys should have seen it. It was a great.
Anyways,
You didn't watch it.
I don't know about them guys. I'm sure they watched it, but like my family recorded games 5 and 6. I watched them both.
I just went back and watched highlights.
I didn't even watch the
I watched
highlights,
the
to be
full
quite honest.
games 5 and 6. It was a crazy experience to watch after the fact. I knew they won. If I was watching it live, it would have been insane.
Yeah.
But the fact that a Toronto team, one of my favorite Toronto, that's the only team that I cheer for since I've been alive. That's won something, so it's my number 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough.
My 2 of mine are the same team, and one's the other one. My third is the 2018 Toronto Raptors. This was like the first year I heavily got into watching basketball. I'd watch it spontaneously, like sometimes. And then the year I actually got in was the year that I think they finished the number 1 seed in the
They
East.
were the 1 seed. Yeah.
That was the year with DeRozan. Obviously they fell to LeBron,
Again.
like everybody does, but
Every year.
they were like the first time I like actually started to get deep into watching basketball, so I had to keep them up at number 3. My number 2 is Brandon's number 1, 2019 Toronto Raptors. Obviously the year they won the championship, the year Kyle Lowry became a Hall of Famer, the year that Kawhi won it for us all. Did like
Did you get that from him?
That is you.
Did you get that? From him?
No, I just found it hilarious.
Every time you laugh, you go.
And my number 1 team, my number 1 is kind of 2 years combined. It's the 2016-2017 Pittsburgh
I
Penguins.
saw that coming.
Obviously,
Well, I mean,
obviously,
it's favorite team.
the year they went back to back, won the cup. They had that OT winner against Ottawa. I was actually at the game in Ottawa. Where Fleury got pulled. I was the only Penguins fan in a whole row of Sens fans. I was getting yelled at the whole time. But yeah, obviously back to back. I remember exactly where I was when that Kunitz goal went in. They're my favorite hockey team.
I was at the Ralston restaurant, I think.
At 12 o'clock at night.
No, but I was there for like the game.
Oh.
I had supper there, and then we stayed and watched
But yeah,
the game.
those are my top 3 sports teams all the time.
My top 3 sports teams of all time are coming in number 3 is the 2004 Tampa Bay Lightning. That was when they first won their first Stanley Cup.
Can you name 4 players on that team?
Mario, not Mario. I was on
Mario Lemieux.
No, there's I know them.
Dude, I know who he was thinking of there.
Yeah, the little guy. Martin St. Louis.
Yeah.
Martin St. Louis, and then there's
I can
their
probably
captain
think of 2.
Vincent.
Oh yeah,
Le
the
Cavalier.
Cavalier. That's
Yeah,
probably all
the
I can name.
Cavalier. Yeah, that is all I know really.
Braden Shen.
Anyways,
Whatever. So that's the first
he's
time.
a bandwagon Tampa.
I am not a bandwagon Tampa Bay fan. You can piss off.
Okay, go ahead.
How many points they got this year?
I don't know. I don't watch.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Go
Anyways,
on.
I have time
Go
to
on.
watch. Okay, number 2 is the 2017 Golden State Warriors.
bandwagon.
Who was on that team?
Steph Curry, KD, and yeah, you know
And you know,
the boys. That was the year they set their
Was there
record.
like,
No, it was
was
the
there
year
like
before.
Ward
Before.
on the team at that time?
Yes, he was.
Oh, was?
He's
Okay.
always on the Warriors. Okay, go
Whatever.
ahead,
Yeah, I was a Golden State bandwagon fan just to piss off Max.
It wasn't. It was Evan actually.
Oh yeah, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
not
me
bad,
and
went
Evan
to
made a
OKC.
bet on it in construction. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my number 1 is the 2020 Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup champions. We did it. After years of close failure. Not as bad as
Years of choking.
years of choking.
Yeah, years of choking.
We finally did it.
So
Go ahead, Max.
I guess I'll finish this off. So for number 3, I had the 2017 Cleveland Cavaliers. That was the first year that I really started to watch basketball, and I was actually in Alberta visiting my grandparents when I was watching this, and I just remember every single day. I wasn't really up to much, but I knew in the middle of the day I was watching these games, and Ethan can shut up. But yeah, I think why I had this team specifically was is because
Let the man talk.
I am.
Just let me talk.
we're already at over an hour.
Yeah, we're already over now. Anyways, 2017 Cleveland Cavaliers because of LeBron's run. I don't know if Noah or Brandon or you guys
I watched
that.
some. I
but
watched it.
Yeah.
That was like an insane playoff run by LeBron.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was, he had no one on his team, and each year he had like
I
3
think I only watched the
separate.
finals that
He
year.
had 3
I did
separate
watch the
buzzer
finals.
beaters in that one playoff run.
Against
He
the
had
Pacers.
against the Pacers, and then also against.
Timbers was regular.
He hit one against the Raptors, if I'm not.
Yeah,
mistaken.
that was
no,
the
and
running
the
one.
Raptors,
The
the one
stupid
side.
running one that
Yeah.
shouldn't have went in.
Anyways, I
I was
remember watching
pissed.
that.
I was pissed.
And I thought it was pretty fun to watch. So that was my number 3 pick. My number 2 pick.
That was 2018, by the way.
That was 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2018. Sorry, but
Because OG was a rookie.
yeah. So my number 2 pick was this is gonna shock some people. Is the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2008.
I don't think it's shocking. It
That's
doesn't
who
have to
they-
be your
that's who they
favorite
lost.
team.
Pardon?
That was who they lost in the finals.
No. This is specific. It's not to do with necessarily the finals.
Sidney Crosby died.
This was like
Gretzky's
one of
dad
the first
died.
year that I started watching hockey. And I
That's
remember
right,
getting a documentary
Oh,
on
yeah.
Sidney Crosby.
Yeah,
You ever
me
get
too.
that Sid the Kid documentary?
I
You ever
watched
seen
it.
that?
I watched
So I
it.
got
It's
that,
great.
and then I started watching Pittsburgh Penguins that year, and that was the same year that I watched the Winter Classic, where where Crosby had
in the overtime, a shootout against
the shootout,
Ryan Miller.
Yeah, against
5-0.
Ryan Miller. My dad was a
Sidney
big
Crosby
Buffalo
was
fan,
playing
so
in
for me,
2008.
Yeah.
that was.
Sidney Crosby.
2005.
He was drafted like
He's 33.
But anyways,
He's
that
old.
Pittsburgh
old.
Penguins
That's a
Winter
good
Classic
one.
game
Yeah, that's
was
a
a
good one.
really good game. So for that reason, I had the two. And they also went on to lose in the finals, but it was a pretty cool
went
year to
nice,
watch
yeah.
Sidney Crosby. And then number 1, this is when I stopped watching hockey after this year for a bit. This is what made me depressed.
Hamburger.
But
This
I
is what
was-
made me happy.
This is what made him happy, and this is my favorite player. Eric Carlson was leading the Ottawa Senators
That's true. That was a bad
to
day.
the 2016 Stanley Cup Finals before he got shut out by the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I had the Ottawa Senators as my number 1 team because yeah, they're my favorite for a long time. I've been a Senators fan forever. So
Braden
my
searched
number
up
2.
Sidney Crosby's draft year and it popped up 1991. I
You
don't
know what?
what.
Screw it. That's the actual NHL website.
What
That's probably
websites
his
are you looking
All right,
at?
No.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. If you enjoyed
Ottawa is depressing.
this
sorry.
podcast, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Follow our Instagram, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.